Elad and Nikolai and Jackie, please join me. And I hope I will meet Almog's standards and be on time. Let's start with applause to Elad Kedar from Oasis for an FDA approval, guys, for a drug from a very small company here in Israel. So, congratulations. What an exciting moment, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You concluded all the celebrations?
It was a very brief one, and we are already focused on our launch, but definitely a great milestone.
Not a dull moment. So thank you all for joining us for this pre-launch session. I'm Daphne, the CEO of Tarsier Pharma, and we have here Elad from Oasis, Jackie from NeuroTrigger, and excuse me, Mika Jackie, sorry, and Nikolai from NeuroTrigger. Let's start with the first question. Can each of you please introduce yourself and give an overview of your company? Elad, let's start with you.
Okay, sure. Elad Kedar, I'm the CEO of Oasis Pharmaceuticals. I have more than 20 years experience in the pharmaceutical industry. Started in Eli Lilly, worked many years there, and at one point in time decided to move into an entrepreneurial career path. And so Oasis has been the third company I've been running. And I've been doing it since inception, which was a bit more than 8 years ago. So Oasis is an emerging ophthalmology company with now an FDA approved product from a prescription drug for the treatment of presbyopia with the name of Closey. Presbyopia sounds like a very complicated disease. It's actually a natural aging condition that happens to almost all of us. It's basically the gradual loss of our ability to focus on near objects. And by now, the most common solution for presbyopia is reading glasses. Closey is basically an eye drop that would be able to, once you apply the eye drop, you can see well for near without compromise on your distance vision. And with Closey, we are planning to basically reshape vision possibilities for people with presbyopia, giving them another important tool to treat their near vision, and also giving them the ability to take a break from their reading glasses when they need it.
Thank you. Onward to you.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm the CEO of Mika Jackie. I had a key opinion leader when I worked for Visionix for almost 16 years, and he said, you have very nice devices, but all the devices you provide is more work for me. What I need to do is to be more patient that are relevant for me. So we did together an analysis of the entire process from start to end. What is the interaction between the doctor and the patients? So the first thing that the doctor asks when the patients come in is, why are you coming in today? And that makes sense, because if he has cataract on your retina specialist, then you can right away tell him, go to the next door. You arrive to the wrong person. So we created the first thing that is an app that require the patient, before even taking an appointment, to provide information. And we have a probabilistic algorithm that can identify 400 symptoms on 100 diseases, and then we can know exactly where the patient needs to go. The second stage, we identify we had a problem, is then the patient come in and sit in front of a very nice electronic table that was designed about 80 years ago. On the side have devices like we heard before, IOP, but a slit lamp that was also designed 150 years ago. And the doctor spent 10% of his time during the day to put the chair on the table, on the chin rest, to take the measurement. So we create a robotic system. This is not good. Robotic system that allow to identify the morphometry of the patient and to do 10 different devices automatically with a sound voice feedback to the patient. And then we have a set of subjective data from the application and a set of objective data from all this robotic system. And then we create an algorithm that simulates what the doctor would do. I know yet that you, 65 years old, you have a loss of vision, you have retroillumination is opaque, you have a cataract. Automatically, we did the biometry. We can calculate which IOL the patient is eligible for and go to the next step. So we are a smart triage system that bring a pre-qualified patient, an educated patient in front of the right doctors.
Thank you. One word to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Nikolai. It's a preview for my presentation later on. I joined NeuroTrigger 2 years ago, and we developed a wearable device that restores blinking abilities. Just sits like this on the ear, very simple to use with the app. And the idea is to restore blinking abilities to patients that lost it. Our first market is patients with facial paralysis that cannot blink, and they suffer from many painful side effects. And unfortunately today, there are very limited options for them to ease their suffering. Recently, we were cleared by the FDA. This device was cleared by the FDA through the 510K pathway. And we are looking forward for a next step of marketing and pre-launch activities that we're planning.
Thank you so much. I always envy the ones that developing medical devices. They can actually present something other than, a molecule, right? Well, previous life. So let's continue with you, Nikolai. When do you think is best to initiate pre-launch activities, and what is the first step you advise to start with?
So I think maybe it's good to say that from my personal experience, you don't want to start too early, because you don't want to be in a position where you start your pre-launching activities and you're presenting the same presentation over and over again, and you burn yourself in the market. And I believe that you should start with pre-launching activities approximately 1 year before you're ready for the market, because it takes time, first of all, for you as a company, from the logistic point of view, from production point of view, to be ready for the market, but also to figure out what is the right pathway, whether it's going to be as a solo company or through strategic partnerships or with a distributing company. So it takes time. So I think approximately 1 year before to start understanding the market, talk to KOLs and presenting the company in conferences to see the feedback from the market and from the customers, which are eventually the physicians that are going to use your device. I think it's the right time to do.
In our case, we did exactly the opposite. we first of all, in terms of pre-launch, you're in medical device kind of blocked before you have a CE or you have a regulatory path that allow you to do more than just a clinical test, but to install at the customer. And we were torn between our strategy. We said we are already not in our first stage of developing products. We're going to do it the right way this time, but we always not ready to do it the right way. So we started with the French market, since our co-founder is a large clinic in France, and we started to collect feedback even before we were completely ready, thinking that we're going to be able to get the right shape of the product to match the customers or the doctors. Then our investor said, oh, you have a great product, but it's for a niche market. It's just where you test it. So we said we're going to go to Asia. So we installed in Singapore, we installed in Indonesia, on other markets to prove that our solution is not only for markets that have a big problem to access to care. And then they said, okay, but this is only for large clinics, so we kind of jungle between installing. We install today 23 devices in different type of market, and reshaping as the pre-launch, shaping for each one of the market on if one of the target segment in this market, the different approach we can present when we're going to do the real launch.
Perfect. Good.
Yeah, we can
Now?
manage.
Okay. So
Yeah,
the
so-
question is whether Elad is going to tell us something different, beginning or end? When do you launch?
I'm trying to find some compromise between the two approaches. But seriously now, I think some activities I fully agree that it's better to start as you are getting closer to launch, particularly ones that are more customer facing. But I also feel, and this is what we actually implemented at Orasys, there are some pre-launch activities that are never too early to begin. And one good example is engagement of all the thought leaders in the category. These are key opinion leaders, ideally coming from the same groups that eventually would prescribe your product. And getting basically a real-world experience and insights from these people is so important right from the very beginning, even of development stage. And I can share with you at Orasys, we built, so the company was established in 2015. Already in 2016, we had a medical advisory board that really helped us in fundamental questions and decisions about finalizing the formula, about the design of the protocol of our clinical studies, later on even in discussions with the regulatory agency, and so on and so forth. At the beginning, this group of strategic advisors is more helping us, let's say, from the outside in. So really helping us with taking key strategic decisions. Gradually, the work begins to be more from the inside out, helping us to develop our marketing concepts. At one point in time, probably about a year pre-launch, disease state awareness campaign that also the strategic advisors can help us. So really trying to kind of find the right balance. Some activities never too early to start. Others definitely important to really look at when is your expected launch, and then kind of that's the T0, and then starting to count backwards.
Thank you. And I will add the patient perspective. All of us are dealing with patients, with people that are suffering, that are looking for hope. And we are here to give them hope. But the devastation, if we fail, is life-changing. So this is something that we always need to take into account, that conducting any pre-launch activities that reach patients, this is something that should be considered carefully before approaching. It's working. Okay, so let's start to dive into each and every company and better understand where you are in your activities and Orasys. So you got the FDA approval, and congrats again. Looking around presbyopia field, there is a growing interest in presbyopia. What are physicians and patients looking for in the therapy or treatment or use of presbyopia in this indication, and what are the obvious benefits for your CLUSI? CLUSI, this is how you pronounce it? CLUSI. Okay. Yeah. For your CLUSI treatment.
Okay. So now that one. Oh, it works. Okay, we'll get there eventually. So yeah, presbyopia is obviously it's a huge phenomenon. Almost 2 billion people with presbyopia, and we've done multiple rounds of research to really understand what people with presbyopia are looking for. One thing we clearly saw is that many of them are, while their reading glasses do work, they are frustrated by their reading glasses because of various reasons. Aesthetics, convenience, and maybe above all, reading glasses are one of the very first signs of aging. And people just hate being dependent on reading glasses when they're just 45 or 50 years old. And reading glasses is something we all remember from our grandparents that they used to wear. And now I'm 45 or I'm 50, and I need to be dependent on that one. Many people look for additional alternatives. But we also learned that different people are going to use alternatives in different ways, depending on varying lifestyle, day-to-day needs. Some people are going to use alternatives such as ours, eye drops for treating near vision. Some of them will use it on a daily basis. Some of them would want to use it only for specific occasions. For example, Friday night. You go to a restaurant, you don't want your reading glasses in order to read the menu or the check. This is a great specific occasion for eye drops to replace reading glasses. One thing, though, was common to almost everybody in all our market research studies. The bar that they have for any alternative to reading glasses is really high. They definitely need a product that would work really well, so efficacy, no compromise there, but they do not want to see also any compromise on safety, comfort, tolerability. So really finding the product that would present the optimal balance across efficacy, safety, and tolerability was really the key challenge for us during the development period. And after really many years of research, optimization, we found a low-dose meiotic agent as our final formula, supplemented with several elements in our proprietary formula that really delivers and has delivered in all our clinical studies, including, of course, our phase 3, great results on efficacy without compromising on safety, comfort, and tolerability. We know that this is definitely something that patients would like to have. We know that for physicians, it's also critical. They do not want to prescribe a product that is eventually a quality of life product that would eventually may create risks of adverse events and so on. So that has been probably within the core of our activities. That's the core of our innovation. And this is what we are going to bring to market very soon.
I think, okay, working. Could you please walk us through your launch preparations, when you have initiated the activities, and what do you believe should be the main focus while getting ready to launch an ophthalmic product in the US?
Yeah, so, okay, doesn't work. Can you hear me? Or, yeah. Hello? Yeah. Okay, we are 1 out of 5, so hopefully we managed through the end here. Yeah, so basically we've been with a launch, I would say, mindset for at least 2 years now. We completed our phase 3 studies about 2 years ago, and since then, single activity in the company is focused at launch. We have a unique opportunity to build and eventually lead that new category, and we want to make it right. We have been really analyzing every possible part of the journey. Right from what do we say about our products, just to start with, but all the way through how do we actually delivering the product to the patients, even from a logistical perspective. All of those are eventually to serve 2 main goals. One is to deliver the right assets to the category, to patients, a product that works well without compromise on safety, comfort, and tolerability. The other one, not less important, I would say, is to deliver, I would say, a simple, frictionless experience for physicians prescribing closely, for patients using closely and their onboarding of closely, in order to make sure that they are really physicians remain well motivated to prescribe closely long term, and patients are motivated to use closely also on a long-term basis.
Thank you very much. This is very enlightening. So, to you, given the increasing demand for accessible and efficient healthcare solutions, particularly in the field of ophthalmology, as you mentioned in your introduction before, how does the Ariana Insight, this is how you pronounce it, okay, platform addresses the specific needs and challenges within the eye health market?
So one of the challenges of the pre-launch is until you get to the pre-launch, you sell technology. you have innovation, you go to after every investor, every doctor, every patient, and you show them what you are able to create as a new product. But when you arrive to the pre-launch, you need to identify who is your customer. Is your customer the patient? You give him access to care and give him better care? Or the customer is the doctor that's able to see a pre-qualified patient and to give him a care at the first visit? Or maybe it is the boss of the doctor that runs the clinic, that he's going to buy the equipment in order to give to the doctor that would give to the patient the care. Or maybe it is none of them, it's just the regulator that decide what is a reimbursement. Because if you have zero reimbursement and you have a great product, you're out of the market because no one is going to buy it. Or maybe your customer is the investor, the one that want to show how in 5-6 years you're going to triple his investment and make an exit. So you are at the pre-launch dilemma, who you're going to sell the product to, where you're going to focus. In our instance, at the beginning, we focus on the hardware because we said if we don't have our hardware, we cannot enable this information. Then we said, but this is not what we want to sell because we're not a hardware company. We use existing equipment that we upgrade, but we're not a hardware company, and many investors don't like to have heavy hardware. We move then our focus to the Smart Vision report, what we provide to the doctor. And this seems for us to be, as a conclusion of our process, the best way to show how we can sell our product, sell what the benefit of the total process we provide, and we put the investors a bit on the side, saying we are going to have a commercial success, then the investor is going to come instead of going around and trying to fit what the investor is expecting from us.
Thank you. So we will need to meet our time. So we will have 1.5 minutes for the next question. Could you outline the key components of the marketing launch strategy for your product, including target demographics, distribution channels, and messaging tactics?
So we try a little bit of everything. We have sell direct, mainly in Switzerland and France, with success. We have technical support that we can to prove, so we need to have a full back office that can support our effort. We have a distributor in Asia when we started to initiate this product, but we had a great success story in Spain. We met Hospital La Paz, and Hospital La Paz said, we need our product. We have a year behind of procedures, but we have two problems. We don't have the money to buy the product, and we don't have the staff to run the device, but we need it. So we found a partner, local partner in Spain that acquires the equipment, hire the people, and resell per patient the result of our system, and refund or do the triage of the patient to the right doctor. And the region, the hospital, and the insurance, each one of them giving a piece of this reimbursement, and this completely changed the game because the hospital say, I want as many as I can, I'm willing to pay a higher fee per patient, and we are able to treat almost, I show you in the afternoon, twice as much patient that we had before your product. So this was a game changer for us because this is something we didn't think we can do ahead of time, and this been now prove the best market access for us.
Thank you. So, Nikolai, you have received the 510K. why to conduct another trial?
So thank you, Daphne. Yeah, so we received the 510K, and first of all, I want to thank our regulatory consultant, the RPGI Group and Senso Medical, that gave us this clearance for us. But because we are a wearable device, we decided to go through a 510K pathway, and the hardest part was to find the right predicate for us, because we are first on the market. There's no such device like ours on the market at this point. And we received the clearance for a broad indication of use under the predicate that we received. The problem, and I'm sure everyone knows here, that when you're thinking about the market in the US, one of the main questions is the reimbursement question. And then we figure out that based on the predicate, the reimbursement will be pennies, or we will need to charge out-of-pocket money from our patients. So in order to overcome this problem, we decided we will do additional clinical trial with more precise predication or something about the eyelid closure. And we can use the clinical data later on to submit for new codes of reimbursement. And this is how we hope that we will get the reimbursement codes and get even better penetration to the market.
So this is practically not a regulatory trial, but a marketing trial. I see. Okay, so marketing strategy, part of it is conducting a trial, but how do you enter a market with such a pioneering device for, you know, first line, right?
So maybe before, treating facial paralysis patients, there are several disciplines that treating these patients. They're going to be ENTs, neurosurgeons, neurologists, depends on the cause and the course of the disease, and of course ophthalmology. So it took us some time to figure out what is the common ground of those patients to start the market penetration. And we figure out that at the end, this is a severe dry eye problem, because at the end, all of those patients will come to the ophthalmologists. This is why we decided that we will start the market penetration through an ophthalmology, and maybe later on we will expand it to other disciplines, maybe to start using our device even earlier to treat those patients. So once we decided that this is the pathway that we are taking, of course, as you said, we need to show the market what we have, because there's nothing like this on the market. So, of course, the initial response was to start presenting these devices, and I can tell you that I presented for the first time last year in the ACRS conference in San Francisco, and was literally a line of ophthalmologists standing asking me when can they get this device, because everyone knows patients that they can use this device on. So I think it was very important to get this feedback from the customers and from the ophthalmology physicians to see that this is really the right pathway for us.
Thank you. Thank you, and good luck with that. So we have only 3 minutes. Disregard the clock. We will have 1 minute for each. So any closing comments or key milestones that you would like to highlight to investors? I know that we have some, if not many, virtually as well from abroad, walking away, so they will have a take-home messages from today.
So for us, the key milestone, obviously, is the launch in the US that is coming later this year. I think many people in the audience here have been engaged in development of pharmaceutical products or any other healthcare products, and I'm sure you all understand how challenging it is to take a product from an early stage, really a formula on a piece of paper, all the way through FDA approval. It has been a long journey for us, 8 years, but now I look at all of it back, and it's like one kind of introduction to the real thing that is happening now. It's the launch, it's putting the product, putting Closey in the hands of so many physicians and patients, and we're really excited towards that opportunity. We believe we have the right asset for the category. We developed the right go-to-market approach, and I really believe we have the right team to execute. So we are really excited towards that launch that is coming very soon, and I hope to be here again about a year from now and report on a very successful launch and starting the building of a new category within eye care.
So for us is to identify first what is your target customer. the moment you find the target customer, you prove him that you have the right technology and you show commercial success, then the reimbursement and the investment will follow.
Yeah, so for us, of course, we are very excited for the next step of launching. We believe that we will start as a pilot study here in Israel, the launch, and then later on we're going to go to US. And for investors, no, I'm sure you know that for this launching activities, for market penetration, everyone needs a lot of cash. So yeah, I think this is very important for all of us.
Thank you very much for a very interesting discussion and for your insights about launch preparations. And I hope that all of you enjoy that. And thank you. Only 40 seconds.